Have you ever wondered what truly distinguishes those who thrive later in life from those who merely survive? Imagine waking each day with mental clarity, physical independence, and genuine enthusiasm, qualities many quietly lose over the years without even noticing. If you're over 65 and find yourself confidently remembering important dates, effortlessly rising from a chair without help, or enjoying deep, restful sleep, you're already ahead of the curve. But here's the thing. These aren't just pleasant conveniences, they are vital signs of your overall health, longevity, and independence. Many people mistakenly accept memory lapses, physical limitations, or sleep disturbances as inevitable parts of aging. The truth is, your body and mind hold incredible potential to maintain, or even regain, these essential capabilities. In today's revealing video, we'll explore 8 specific indicators that signal exceptional vitality after 65. You'll discover exactly what these markers say about your health and what small adjustments you can make right now to enhance your quality of life dramatically. Stay tuned until the end because understanding these powerful indicators could mean the difference between simply aging and truly thriving. If you haven't subscribed yet, I strongly encourage you to do so now and turn on notifications. This might just be the most empowering video you've watched in years, giving you insights and tools to take control of your health, independence, and happiness for years to come. Let's begin. Now, onward to number 3, your ability to stand up from a chair or off the floor without using your hands. There's something deeply significant about being able to rise unaided, without needing your arms for support. It may seem trivial, but this simple action carries considerable weight in terms of health, agility, and self-sufficiency after the age of 65. Why? Because getting up without assistance requires powerful legs, a stable core, balance, and coordination. These faculties are vital, not just for avoiding falls, but for maintaining confidence in your movements and holding on to the kind of independence that makes life fulfilling. Making daily life feel both manageable and dignified often comes down to simple movements most of us take for granted. Consider those moments when you effortlessly rise from the couch, step smoothly out of a car, or push yourself up from the floor after retrieving something. All of these signal that your body is still working cohesively and reactively. Just as importantly, these actions indicate that your lower body has maintained its vigor. This is crucial, since research consistently points to lower body strength, particularly in the quadriceps and hip muscles, as one of the most reliable indicators of longer lifespan and reduced fall risk among seniors. Falls aren't merely mishaps. For many older individuals, a single fall can trigger a series of severe health setbacks, injuries, hospital admissions, diminished self-assurance, and ultimately, decreased physical activity. For this reason, being able to stand from a seated position under your own power, especially without the aid of your hands, is far more than a matter of convenience. It's a tangible measure of the musculoskeletal system's aging process. Think about someone like Frank, age 75. He was never one to spend much time in fitness centers. Instead, every morning, he'd lower himself onto his living room carpet, perform a few stretches, and then, relying solely on his own strength, rise to his feet, no assistance from his hands. During a routine appointment, he mentioned this habit to his physical therapist, who remarked, "You're outperforming many people 10 years your junior." The truth is, the capability to get up from the floor unaided is a skill many lose incrementally, often without noticing until suddenly, it's out of reach. The optimistic news is that this skill can be reclaimed. If you're finding yourself increasingly reaching for armrests or needing an extra push to get up from a chair, it doesn't mean your best days are behind you. It just means your muscles and joints are requesting more support. Straightforward activities like chair squats, leg extensions, or even exercises performed while seated can help rebuild both the strength and coordination necessary for these everyday tasks. Ultimately, the critical factor isn't whether your pace has slowed with age, but rather if you can still rise independently and in a controlled manner. This movement is about far more than raw physical power. It speaks to your independence. Being able to stand up unaided means you're not reliant on someone else for something as basic and essential as movement. It also shows your brain, nervous system, and muscles are communicating effectively and functioning in harmony. If you're able to stand without pressing off with your hands, take pride in that accomplishment. This is more than an everyday action to be overlooked. It demonstrates tenacity, strength, and signals a body well equipped for more years of an active lifestyle. Losing this ability doesn't have to be inevitable. Your world only starts to shrink if you allow this skill to slip away. The fourth key marker is being able to sleep soundly through the night and wake up feeling rejuvenated. Few things are more telling of healthy aging, yet this signal is often missed. If you're over 65 and consistently find yourself drifting off quickly, staying asleep until morning, and greeting the day truly refreshed, you're enjoying a benefit that many others your age quietly miss. Why does restful sleep matter so profoundly? Because it is while you're in deep sleep that your brain performs essential upkeep, removing cellular waste, organizing memories, and mending nerve pathways. During these restorative hours, your heart rate diminishes, your blood pressure lowers, and your entire system shifts into a state of repair. For seniors, this nightly rejuvenation is absolutely critical. Your immune defenses, brain function, and hormonal balance all hinge on high-quality sleep to remain in good working order. When restorative sleep starts to falter, everything else tends to follow suit. Individuals who struggle with sleep on a regular basis are more likely to face difficulties with memory, mood regulation, blood glucose levels, and even physical stability. Inadequate rest has been associated with an increased likelihood of experiencing strokes, depression, weight gain, and cognitive disorders such as dementia. The most troubling aspect is that many older adults simply resign themselves to poor sleep, believing it is an inevitable aspect of getting older, even though that doesn't have to be the case. Consider Carol, a 79-year-old who began waking multiple times each night, sometimes 4 or 5 times, and assumed this was typical, remarking that everyone her age dealt with it. However, when she eventually spoke with her physician about her disrupted sleep, they performed a few straightforward evaluations and discovered both mildly low hydration and reduced iron levels. By adjusting some evening habits, drinking additional water earlier in the day, eating an iron-rich snack before bedtime, and adopting a steady time to turn out the lights, she found that the quality of her sleep improved enormously. She described the improvement as if her entire life had been transformed. There's a reason sleep is often referred to as the cornerstone of good health. You can eat nutritious meals, exercise regularly, and stay connected socially, but when you aren't sleeping properly, the advantages of all those positive habits are significantly diminished. And if you routinely awaken feeling exhausted, you may not be truly resting, just unconscious for several hours. If you are among those who still rest soundly at night and rise with genuine energy for the day ahead, that's not something to take for granted. It's a clear indication that your internal workings, such as hormone balance, your nervous system, and stress defenses, are still operating in concert. Maintaining that equilibrium only becomes more challenging as you age, and often, sleep imbalances appear before other health issues. If your rest hasn't been ideal lately, don't ignore it. Countless elements can influence how well you sleep, everything from ambient temperature and lighting, to your medications, to what and when you eat. What's most vital is to understand that sleep is not merely a passive phase, it's actually one of the most dynamic and restorative processes your body engages in for your health over the long term. The real takeaway is that deep, regular, high-quality sleep isn't simply a nice bonus, it's a crucial health marker. If your body still knows how to transition smoothly into restful sleep and rebuild itself, relies keep producing valuable material to enlighten and motivate you. Now, moving on to number 5, the capacity to nurture lasting relationships and social ties. For those over 65 who still maintain long-standing friendships, keep in regular contact with family, or frequently spend time with loved ones, you're succeeding at something many people undervalue, something closely connected to living longer and living well. Meaningful social bonds aren't merely a pleasant addition in one's later years, they are essential and play a much more significant part in health and longevity than many recognize. Research has established that being socially active is just as critical for your well-being as maintaining an active lifestyle or eating healthily. In reality, persistent isolation has been associated with heightened chances of cardiovascular disease, depression, impaired immunity, and even a shortened lifespan. Conversely, authentic connections offer protection against these threats. They help your mind stay alert, keep your emotions stable, and make your body more robust. This is because human relationships offer something no medicine or supplement possibly can. They give you a sense of purpose, a compelling reason to greet each new day. Having something to laugh about, a reason to care, and that feeling of being noticed, needed, and appreciated, these experiences don't just uplift your mood, they nourish you on a physical level as well. Consider Robert, 82 years old. After his wife died, he lived by himself, but he never missed his weekly get-together with a close circle of friends at the diner nearby. They'd reminisce, share jokes, and repeat familiar tales. To him, that single hour every week provided the resilience he needed to move forward. He described it as medicine with no prescription, and he was absolutely right. Engaging with others has a real impact on the body, lowering production of stress hormones, enhancing cerebral circulation, and fostering more restful sleep. When you interact with people who genuinely care about you, your physiology reacts, reducing inflammation and helping maintain immune health. Even the simplest exchanges count, whether it's a chat over the phone, a shared meal, or a neighbor dropping by for a few minutes. You don't have to gather a crowd around you. What matters is genuine connection. It's important to remember that feeling isolated isn't always about physical solitude. Sometimes, it can mean passing several days without a meaningful discussion, or not having anyone you feel emotionally safe confiding in. This kind of hidden isolation can quietly undermine your well-being in subtle but significant ways. So, if you make the effort to reach out to loved ones, keep up with friends, or simply savor an honest conversation, you're doing much more than fulfilling a social need. You're shielding both your body and mind from the deep-seated effects of loneliness. And even if your circle of connections has diminished over time or your daily life feels quieter than before, it is never too late to reconnect. Take a small step, sign up for a group activity, dial an old friend, or accept an invitation you might usually turn down. Just one authentic conversation a day can start to change your outlook. Human beings are inherently social. We need relationships to survive and flourish. When you continue to build and nurture your bonds well into your later years, you're doing something extraordinary. You're making a conscious choice to live fully, in the manner only humans can. Another essential sign of ongoing vitality, especially past age 65, is the capacity to both prepare and enjoy wholesome meals without assistance. If you are still able to select your own groceries, cook with intention, and sit down to appreciate what you've made, you're practicing much more than basic nutrition. You're displaying a form of independence that's powerful and frequently underrated. True self-sufficiency is rooted in mindfulness, routine, and self-respect. Meal preparation might appear straightforward, but it actually calls on organization, dexterity, coordination, memory, and, quite often, a sense of mission. You are deciding on meals according to what your body requires, moving safely in the kitchen, juggling timing and heat, and making careful choices, all signs that your body and mind operate together in balance. But beyond the mechanics, cooking for yourself is proof that you still place value on your health and aren't simply coasting through your days. You're choosing real nourishment rather than just what is easy, staying engaged with daily details, and caring about your well-being in the long run. Lorraine, for example, was 85 and made her own breakfast every morning, always including eggs, toast, fruit, and coffee, her special routine. She once told me, "It's how I know I'm still myself." Even when her son suggested bringing frozen meals to lighten her workload, she simply smiled and said, "That's the first step to giving up." For Lorraine, cooking wasn't just about eating, it was about freedom and self-determination. And there's another important aspect: the choices you make about what food to prepare and how you enjoy it reflect deeper values and personal agency. The foods you choose as you age reveal a lot about your well-being. When older individuals consistently include leafy greens, vibrant vegetables, lean sources of protein, nuts, and whole grains in their diets, it demonstrates that they're effectively managing inflammation, maintaining muscle strength, supporting cognitive health, and caring for their cardiovascular system. Conversely, when eating routines become less structured, meals are skipped, processed foods take over, or eating becomes erratic, this often signals one of the earliest indicators of a decline in health. This is largely because meal preparation demands both physical energy and interest. As those begin to diminish, changes are often first noticeable in the kitchen. Meal planning gets neglected, snacking replaces balanced meals, and the refrigerator might start to look unusually bare. Such subtle shifts tend to show up quietly, long before more obvious symptoms emerge. If you're someone who still eagerly cooks dishes you enjoy and takes real pleasure in both preparing and tasting your meals, that's genuinely worth recognizing. This not only suggests you remain actively engaged in your own well-being, but also reflects a broader sense of self-care that extends far beyond what's on your plate. However, if the enthusiasm for cooking has faded, if making a meal feels burdensome, or if you notice you're foregoing meals completely, it might be a good moment for some honest reflection. Are you feeling exhausted? Has your mood changed? Is your appetite diminished? Sometimes, the spark can be rekindled with something as simple as new culinary inspiration, support from others, sharing a meal in good company, discovering a new recipe, or visiting a local farmer's market. After all, food means far more than mere sustenance. It holds our memories, sets a rhythm to our days, and when you're still cooking for yourself past the age of 65, you're preserving something deeply affirming about your life. Those still following along and finding value in these points are an ability to plan ahead, which are fundamental indicators of sustained mental acuity and self-reliance. Managing your own money isn't simply about writing checks or using a debit card. It encompasses tasks that require recalling due dates, deciphering statements, detecting possible errors, and steering clear of scams. This showcases executive functioning, your mind working smoothly and efficiently, often without fanfare. When it comes to prescriptions, the importance grows even greater. Keeping track of what medications to take, when to take them, and at what dosage, with no missed or incorrect doses, relies on keen attention and self-discipline. For older adults, errors with medications are among the leading causes of preventable hospital visits, making successful self-management not just a personal win but a critical safeguard for your health. All of this highlights the value of sound decision-making. Being able to evaluate and act on matters concerning your finances and your health in a clear, timely, and well-informed way means you're actively upholding your independence. It's easy to take this skill for granted, but it's often among the first things to fade if cognitive impairment begins to set in. I recall Henry, age 78, who diligently logged his expenses on a simple legal pad, balanced his checkbook each week, and reviewed his medications monthly. When his daughter volunteered to take over these responsibilities, he replied, "Not yet, I want to keep my mind sharp." His meticulous approach truly helped him remain mentally fit. Active, self-assured, and steering the course of his own life, if you've started to pick up on occasional lapses such as forgetting a payment, confusing medication bottles, or needing assistance to keep your calendar organized, that's not something to conceal. Instead, it's an opportunity to pay attention, because modest tweaks to your daily habits now can shield you from more serious problems later. Setting up automated bill payments, using pill sorters, or keeping a more organized schedule aren't indications of weakness, they're practical strategies to keep you safe and independent. The most critical thing is staying attuned and engaged with your finances and health. When you stop focusing on handling these aspects yourself, you end up surrendering that oversight to others. And even though seeking support is sometimes necessary, maintaining the ability to oversee your own affairs is closely linked to your dignity and sense of independence. Therefore, if you're still handling these responsibilities capably, it's far more than simply doing all right. It means your mind remains agile, your routines dependable, and your life remains directed by you. For anyone hoping to reach 100 with vibrancy and poise, there is hardly a stronger indicator than this. The eighth sign, starting each day with enthusiasm and inquisitiveness. For those over 65 who still rise each morning motivated by a clear reason, whether it's anticipation, care, or the draw of some enjoyable task, that's more than mere cheerfulness. It stands among the strongest predictors of exceptional longevity we have, because purpose is not just an emotion but a vital force. It keeps the intellect sharp, the heart invested, and the body eager to persist. Having a sense of purpose does not mean you must be employed or striving toward ambitious milestones. Purpose can take the form of simple joys, tending to plants, taking the dog for a stroll, journaling, doing volunteer work, reaching out to loved ones, supporting a friend, or picking up a new skill merely out of genuine interest. That small spark, the thought "I have something worthwhile to do today," gives the day substance. Over time, it brings order, momentum, and happiness to life. Scientific studies repeatedly demonstrate that individuals who look forward to something in the morning, regardless of how modest, are more likely to live longer, face illness less frequently, and bounce back faster when setbacks do occur. There's science behind it. Having a goal causes people to stay active, stay connected, care for themselves, and as a result, their bodies reward them by remaining healthier and more youthful. Take Ruth, age 84, for example. She crafts handmade birthday cards for members of her church congregation. Even though she finds it a bit trivial, she enjoys making others happy. She may not realize it, but this small weekly activity is helping her retain sharp memory, keep her fingers nimble, maintain social ties, and foster a sense of inclusion, all from a humble personal ritual. Conversely, when individuals lose this sense of purpose, things often take a turn for the worse. Days stretch into monotony, motivation dwindles, conversations lose their spark, and the future no longer feels appealing. This is why many people seem to rapidly grow old after retiring or experiencing a significant personal loss. It isn't just the absence of a job or a loved one, but a loss of direction. The uplifting truth, though, is that purpose can be reignited at any age. It simply has to feel meaningful to you. There's no expectation to impress anyone else or to achieve greatness. What matters is that it gives you enough satisfaction to want to wake up and do it again. If you still feel interested in learning, helping, growing, or sharing, that's not only evidence of your spirit. If that inner strength persists, it shows your mind remains adaptable, your feelings remain vibrant, and your body still responds to your desire to keep going, which, in many respects, is one of the most evident indications that you're not merely getting older, but are still evolving. So if you wake up each day with something to anticipate, hold on to that feeling, because that steady internal motivation might be one of the main reasons you've made it this far and could be why you'll continue moving forward, outlasting many expectations. Now that you've listened to all 8 signs, consider how many you identify within yourself. Did 1 or 2 immediately resonate? Did you notice more qualities than you anticipated? Either way, give yourself a moment to reflect, because if you are past age 65 and can still demonstrate these abilities, it's not only good fortune, it means your mind and body are functioning with extraordinary competence. These qualities are more than just pleasant traits. They serve as early signs of lasting health, autonomy, and overall well-being. Each one highlights bodily systems that remain robust, whether it's your cardiovascular system, physical strength, cognitive abilities, daily routines, or sense of meaning. When all these elements function in unison, you gain not only extra years but a richer experience within those years. That's genuine vitality. Naturally, not everyone will exhibit every single quality, and that's completely all right. This isn't a checklist to judge yourself against. Think of it as a guide, a gentle reminder of what truly counts and what's still within your grasp. Many of these capabilities can be reacquired, nurtured, or enhanced with some dedication, attention, and steady effort. If there's one lesson to keep in mind, it's this: a long, healthy life isn't just about steering clear of disease, it's about remaining engaged in your own journey. It's about staying active, sharp, purposeful, socially connected, and treating yourself with dignity. If you possess even a handful of these indicators, you're already doing better than many and are well on your way to a richer, more extended life. So, I'd really like to hear from you. Which of these 8 markers do you recognize in yourself right now, and which one do you most want to cultivate this year? Thank you for spending time with us today. Please drop a comment below and let us know one insight you gained and how you intend to apply it in your life. Your feedback means a lot to us, so please feel free to share your experiences. Hearing from you offers us valuable encouragement and inspiration. If you found this video useful, please remember to like, subscribe, and share. Your continued support allows us to keep producing valuable material to educate and motivate you. We appreciate your viewership and hope to connect with you in our next video.